Who's next?
Hey, how y'all doing? Back again with another great episode of the It Factor Podcast. As always, from your host, Jamie Robinson. Today we have someone special. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, It Factor fans. It is Jaylyn Brown here joining.
Yes, indeed. Mrs. Brown, how are you doing mentally, physically, and emotionally?
Mentally, wow, that's a great question. Mentally, I think that I am juggling a lot mentally. I think as a lot of entrepreneurs are. And then just with the state of politics in America right now, there's a lot to think about all the time. So mentally, I would say my mind is racing. My mind is always on a million things. And even as a creative and entrepreneur, thinking about the next idea or what I'm going to implement next. So mentally, there's a lot going on right now. Physically, I would say doing really well. I recently invested in a personal trainer, so that has been going really well. And I'm very healthy and thankful for health because health is wealth. And then emotionally, I'm probably doing the best. I feel like I'm very in tune with my emotions. So if I could rank how I'm doing, I would say emotionally doing the best, and then physically, and then mentally.
All right. Taking care. Look, you taking care of all three, so definitely
Yes,
as
yes,
time go, want to be up, want to be. So it's good. It's
for
good.
sure. Absolutely.
I'll say thank you first off for coming on the show, but also thank you for helping me to build a relationship with Natasha Cammy. Also with my Shaka, man, that was amazing to bring both of them on the show. And I still talk to Natasha every now and then. I also reach out to Maya too. So like we
That
always
is amazing.
always try
That
to
is
say
amazing.
something. And something crazy is I also interviewed Deshaun. So I seen y'all did some work together too. I
Yes,
interviewed him a
yes,
couple
yeah.
like a year or two ago, and I keep in touch with him too. So when I was doing the question for you, I was like, first off, she got to come on because we've been doing work together. I was like, we just both busy, stuff be happening. I'm like, no, I got to get her on the
More
show.
time.
Got to
I'm
get.
glad we made the time, and I'm so glad that they each were able to share their stories on your platform. You've been a great resource to us as well. So thank you for all the work that you're doing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, congratulations on getting your new player. I just seen you, pin you with the pin. That.
Thank you. Yes, we're excited about that. I was with him yesterday. He's a great kid. Looking forward to what the college football season has ahead. Of course, specifically Temple. So my closet is filling up with a lot of, that cherry maroon kind of color and white. But we're really, really proud to represent him. He's a great, great athlete.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So I say, how was it, being nominated for the top 50, women leaders in Virginia Beach in 2024? How was that?
Oh my, that was surreal, honestly. I have to tell you, when I first got the email, I thought it was spam. I didn't know that it was a real thing. And so I'm really honestly just so blessed and grateful for that honor. Virginia Beach is the most populated city in the state of Virginia. So to be recognized for something like that in the top 50 with other really dynamic, powerful women who are doing their thing is just so incredible. And it always makes the work worth it. Sometimes we get, in the weeds and, just put our head down and get really busy with things. But when you are recognized in that way, and especially when it's a surprise as it was for me, I couldn't be more grateful. There's so many great cultural, sports, just legendary figures that come out of Virginia and out of Virginia Beach specifically. So to be recognized in that way was really, really amazing.
Yes, indeed. So I say with that, what is your it factor? Why do you do what you do?
Ooh, my it factor, I would have to say, is my uniqueness and my ability to do what others can't. I think I really hone in on that as my area of expertise.
Mhm.
I'm not really good with being told no. I'm not really good with being told when something hasn't been done and it's something that maybe somebody wants to do that really fuels and drives me. So I would say definitely my uniqueness, my tenacity, my resilience, those things combined really comes with a truly kind of bombshell it factor all in one, I would say. But why I do what I do, gosh, it's my purpose, it's my passion. It really fuels me every single day. My journey to where I am today has not been conventional at all. And so I think that, my why changes over time as find things that you want to do better or maybe areas that you want to tap into. I'm definitely a multi-dimensional individual who never just wanted to do one thing. So to be able to build a company from the ground up and represent and support different athletes and different industries has been so rewarding for me. And it makes the why definitely filled with purpose.
I love that. I also love how you broke the question down. That's so dope. And the work you do is so impactful and so amazing. And when I was writing this question, I was like, so how do you, I don't like to say balance no more. How do you manage, you know, being an agent, your life outside that, you have work outside that, different things you do. You're also a philanthropist and you have your everything else that you do. How do you balance that?
Yes, the balance is not real. The balance is not real. I would say, first of all, to be completely transparent with you, I write everything down.
Yeah.
I'm a big list person, and I'm very old school with having a planner in which I write everything down. So I've got that. I, of course, use like my iPhone calendar, Outlook calendar. I've got about 5 different calendars that I sync on top of anybody that I'm working with or representing. I also have a separate calendar for them. So if it's not written down, it's not going to happen for me. I've got to have that sort of organization and order and something that I can highlight or check off of a list.
Mhm.
That really works very well for me. But the balance, sometimes things aren't always going to be at 100% in every single area. But you do strive, at least I do strive to get to that point on a daily basis. It's not easy.
Mhm.
I would say a great support system is really important. I've got just incredible parents who really are there for me all the time. And of course, friends as well who, don't get so upset if I can't always, pick up the phone right then or answer a call. But I would say writing everything down, having an incredible support system. And I would also add, I was reading something today where Mark Cuban was speaking about this, and he was like, the balance really isn't real for anybody who is on a steadfast journey to success. And I would agree with that. I think that it's a possibility to have balance if you are in more of a structured role, whether that be a 9 to 5 or a 7 to 3. I do think it's achievable for some people, but I think if you are an entrepreneur, I think if you're an overachiever, I think if you want to be the absolute best above average as at whatever it is you're doing, that balance doesn't happen. And you just have to create a system in which you determine what is most important at what time at all times.
Yeah, you ain't never lied. That happened to me with a podcast. I've been doing it since 2019. And you start a plan, it'll work, then it blow up, and you just like, wait a minute.
Yes,
But I never give up on it because success is continuous. It's forever. You keep going, you keep going.
that's true.
And what I have learned, and you know this, is great to build relationships with people because when you're feeling like when it blows up, it's always something that comes and like, oh, I can bounce back. Oh, I can do this real quick. But that's the difference
100%.
between us and I guess the common day working people. Even though I'm a data engineer outside of all this, so
You've made it work for you. You have made it work.
yeah. So yeah, man, you got to make it work. So I say, how did your vision come about for the JB agency? How did
My
it come
vision
to
is
life?
always changing. But the origin of it all, I would say, started in my living room in my condo at the time.
Uh-huh.
And I was fortunate enough to have already been working with different athletes. I grew up around sports, grew up primarily around baseball. So baseball is my favorite sport. And a lot of people don't necessarily know that because I work a lot with football and basketball, but baseball is what I grew up around, and that really was the foundation of where I am today. And I think that for me, because I was working with so many athletes at the time, there was no NIL, there was no necessarily like brand building. I was really, really working with them at the start, really the pre era of all of those things becoming popular. And I identified very early on with these athletes who maybe wanted to have camps or wanted to be involved in other nonprofits, that a lot of them struggled in managing how to do all of those things and then also still perform on the field or on the court during their respective seasons. A lot of them had family that would help them out, but sometimes family isn't always the best to involve in your business entities and ventures. And, I've seen a lot of deals fall through for athletes when they involve their family too much. So I really was fortunate to identify that gap at the time and was primarily working with professional athletes and retired athletes. Many of the retired who were on their second career, for example, one who played football but then moved into politics. So the vision really came from my experience and already working in that space and identifying a need and saying, I could do that and I could do that better. And so I would start working on things from that aspect, and things certainly have grown. I'm very, very blessed to be able to, sometimes when you're in a meeting or you're in the middle of putting an event together, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so much. This is very overwhelming. But then you have to step back and say, there's nothing I can complain about right now because I prayed for this at some point, and now I am living that. So I'm just super grateful and thankful for the way that everything has truly worked out, for the way that God has ordered my steps. And I think a lot of that comes from being persistent and being consistent as well.
Indeed. And there you are. You are persistent. You're consistent. And God been
I
blessing
get that a lot.
you. Look, God been blessing you because that's the funny thing.
Yeah.
When I DM you, you like, yeah, I'm gonna come on the show. I'm gonna come on the show.
Yeah.
Write it down. I'm about to, and we figured it out. And I was like, you know what? She been consistent this whole time. I've been working
Yeah.
with her for years now. And I was like, I gotta get on. So like, that's one thing I can say. You are consistent. You like me. So
I love it. I love it.
yeah, I commend you for that. So I say also, what is something that you're looking forward to next? With your agency.
Oh, looking forward to, I can't share too much, but we are really building something incredible that is going to add to the agency's legacy. I'm really big on creating things that are tangible, but also creating things that are going to leave a lasting impact. And what I'll say is we work a lot with nonprofits. We work a lot with players who want to build their own nonprofits. And as a philanthropist, I really love to give back. So I want to give back in a bigger way. And
Mm.
so we're building a way to do that. And I'm really excited to see what that looks like in the future. The timing of it, I've kind of thrown timing into someone else's hands because you can plan and plan and plan, and things just happen when they're meant to happen. But I'm really excited about the opportunity to build and curate different events and moments where, as an agency, we're able to give back at one time.
I love that. I love that. And it's all gonna come together in due
Yeah,
time. It's all
yeah,
gonna come
for
together.
sure.
Indeed, indeed. So
And I will just say, I'll add to that and say, you know, I'm an East Coast girl for sure. I'm born in Maryland, live in Virginia Beach, which I guess is considered the South, but I am an East Coast girl. And the way that we have grown now and expanded as a business into other markets is something that I didn't necessarily project when it happened either. So I'm really excited about our growth as it relates to proximity and landscape as well.
yeah. So I'll say, what is what is something you would love to be remembered for when it's all said and done?
Moving forward, something I would really love to do, I think, is pour more into the athletes who look like you and I, who don't have the resources or the opportunities to expand their expertise. They could be the next big thing, but we might never know because they don't have the same opportunities. And a lot of these opportunities might be missed due to social determinants. It might be missed due to financial kind of bearings and things of that nature. But I really am looking forward to the opportunity to support those athletes because I know that there are so many of them. And there are also other opportunities beyond being an athlete. And I like the opportunity to share that with them. You can be in the front office, you can be an agent, a publicist, a brand manager. The sky is really the limit. So I want to be able to support them in a way that maybe they aren't supported on a regular basis.
Mhm, mhm. So, who are you outside of all that you do?
Who am I? That's a great question. I like to think I'm one of the funniest people you ever meet. I think that I am just a lover of people, a lover of life. I love to travel, very family oriented. I love to be with my family. And one of my most recent opportunities in representing our newest athlete has afforded me that, which is great. And I, I think that I'm just somebody who really likes to make life better for others.
Mhm.
Um, there's a servant leadership about me that I'm not exactly sure where it came from. I've always had leadership qualities and I've always led really, really well. But just because you're a great leader doesn't mean you're great with people. And just because you're great with people doesn't mean that you would make a great leader. So I think that who I am really encompasses kind of all of those things. Like I said, I love to travel. I love to kind of make others' visions come to fruition. That's one of the things that I find is unique about our agency. But beyond our agency, whenever I can help, friends or friends of family, I jump right in.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So I'll say, also, um, outside of everything that you do, something that else I was thinking about was what's something that you would tell a young lady that would love to be in your shoes someday?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would tell her to do her research, first of all. That is so, so important. And a lot of the education is free right now. You can Google, you can reach out to people via LinkedIn. I mean, it's such an incredible source to get to somebody who you might find really hard to reach otherwise. So do your research and whatever it is that you want to do, be consistent, work hard. Working hard might seem like a cliche, but the hard work always pays off. And be authentic as well.
Mhm.
People who are at the top can see right through you if you are not being genuine and if you're not being authentic. And that is the key to major long-term success. What makes you different? What makes what you do different? So definitely all of those things would be advice that I give. I think if it were anything else, it would have to be believe in yourself, which is also kind of a cliche, but you really, really have to, like you have to be the person who believes in yourself the most. And I'll share that, there are times where I might be in a meeting or pitching a company. And I've had this happen where they've looked at me and said, "You are crazy. This is way too much." And in that same sentence, they've said, "You've got a deal." So you've just got to believe in yourself. Nobody else has to. But in believing in yourself, once you get that opportunity, you have to deliver. There's no wavering on, okay, well, I can't actually do what I said I was going to do. No, no, no. That will mess you up. You've got to make sure that you can execute and you work hard to deliver on what it was that you first brought to the table.
I love that. You're right about that, though. You got to execute. You got to, anytime those chances come, you got to go ahead and follow through with it.
Yes.
My next question is, have you ever faced any challenges? And if so, how did you overcome them? Because it's the sports industry. You're women,
Yes.
and women are always been I say at the forefront of sports. I ain't gonna hold you, but it just how it's going now. It's cool to see how it's growing. Have you faced any challenges?
110%. I have definitely faced challenges, not only as a woman, but as a Black woman.
Hmm.
I could probably spend a lot of time talking about the challenges. We don't always showcase the challenges when we're on Instagram. That's the highlight reel. But yes, absolutely. I think that when people first see you in this sports space specifically, which is male dominated, that is the first thing they encounter is your looks and your physical appearance. And there's nothing wrong with that. We can't control that. However, there's got to be some depth to you beyond that. And so for me, I've definitely faced the challenge of people thinking, who is this girl? She doesn't really know what she's talking about. But because I've done my research ahead of time, when I open my mouth, there's this kind of wow factor of, okay, let me, maybe kind of pull back a little bit because she's here and she's here to stay. And she also knows exactly what she's talking about and maybe more than what I thought I knew. So I've definitely faced challenges, but I also have to shout out the fact that I have some incredible, incredible mentors who have poured into me and who were never afraid to give me the cheat code or the keys to success. Whereas there are quite a few people out there who, will say to you, like, I had to work this hard to get here, so do you. Like, I'm not going to give you all of those kind of answers that I had to work so hard for. And so I'm really fortunate that I've had those mentors, and they've all been men, by the way, to give me a push in that direction. But the challenges have come in many different ways, whether it's they don't think I know enough, or oh, I'm just a pretty face, or oh, I'm the girlfriend or the groupie. No, I am the one calling the shots, and I'm the one who's the reason why this person's brand has completely made a 180 in a positive direction. So for me, I feel like I eat challenges for breakfast. I feel like I don't operate well when there's not a challenge to overcome. But not everybody's like that. And they can be very, I would say, disheartening and disappointing at times because, especially if you don't come from a background of entrepreneurs or you don't come from a circle of friends who are all in that same industry, there are things that you face alone and you might not know how to handle in the moment. So, although that there are those challenges and trials, they make you stronger, they make you tougher, they make you better, they make you more prepared for the next moment. And so I'm actually really grateful for all of the challenges that I faced because now I look at them and kind of laugh. And I'm like, okay, well, what's next? Trust me, I've been through worse.
Hmm. I love that. I love that, man. He said you eat them for breakfast, so you good. Say, hey, the
Yes.
challenge come. So I only have a few more questions. One of my
Sure.
questions here is the most important. I feel like to me, 'cause I love giving back to people. Why is it important to give back to people and help others?
Wow. It's important to give back and to help others. One, because you never know who somebody else knows. That is a really, really important aspect to be aware of in business. You never want to come off in a way that you can do it all by yourself. You're always going to need the help of somebody else or a reference, or, you might be trying to get the ideal client and there might be somebody in between who can connect you. And if there's an opportunity to give back or just be there for others and you fumble that opportunity or you say, no, that's not my style, that could cost you in the future. People talk. And so reputation is really, really important. Um, Even though, when I give back, it's because it's something that I love to do. It's something where I feel like there's truly a tangible impact that you make on somebody else's life. And I think that it is something that you do that comes back to you tenfold every single time. I think that when I have the opportunity to give back, I jump at it because it's not costing me anything and I'm making life better for somebody else. And sometimes when you are in those spaces of the VIP and the this, and it's like, okay, those moments are what keeps you grounded. And they're also those moments where people change your life. Like I know that I've definitely encountered in opportunities where I'm giving back to somebody else, a moment where somebody has said something, that resonates with me or is so powerful to me, or is like, you helped me because, or I was having the worst day and you did this for me. You never know the impact that you're going to make on somebody else. So just do it. Why not? It's not going to hurt you. It's honestly going to help you probably almost every single time.
Love that. And that's what we're here for. That's what the
Yes,
reason why one of the reasons why I started the show. I love to help people. Culture for service, service for humanity. I definitely love to help people. I think, and I know that's the reason why we on Earth.
for sure. Absolutely.
I say, do you have any questions for me?
My question for you would be, what is your it factor?
My it factor, and it's interchangeable. I love, like I said, I love to help people, but what I realize is I love to tell people stories. I definitely get a kick out of helping people and telling their stories because I feel like that's all we have, especially as our people, is that we tell our stories no matter if it's the garbage guy, it's the famous athlete, it's the doctor, the teacher. It's cool to be able to tell their stories, but it's also cool to be able to tell kids when I speak about a podcast. I'm also a data engineer. I went to school for computer science, da da da.
That's incredible.
So I get to see that it's bigger than me. Everything that I do. Reason why I say my impact is giving back because I always started to realize through the podcast that like God was doing something bigger, and
Hmm.
every time I bring a guest like yourself on, I'm thankful for each and every person that comes on and try to reach back out or something because it helps to pour into me in a positive way. And I know I'm doing it out of the positivity of my heart. I'm not like trying to get anything out of it. So self for helping people. So definitely that's my effect.
And is there anyone that you have in mind that you would love to have on the podcast in the future?
Yeah, definitely. I'll say one person, is definitely Mike Vick. Definitely
Okay.
love what he's doing out there in Norfolk. I would say that even reaching out to you some months ago, I think I reached out, I was like, hey, do you know this guy? Da, da, da? I'm like going through all like we said, we go through our people that we know. I'm like, man, look, she work with Norfolk, she know Norfolk, she there. Like,
Yeah.
there's other people. I'm like, if she can help me do this, it would be cool to interview him. Yes, football because I love it, I played it and I know what it would do for my people back home, like to see
Hmm.
that and to be like, dang, I could do that. I could interview him or I could reach out to him, but also the things I could bring to his athletes, at Norfolk.
Mm.
Like I'm always about giving back, and something that I ultimately would love to do is yes, interview him, get that out the way, and let him know, hey, whatever you need, let me know, man. It may not be all the way monetarily, but you need them to get interviewing skills. Come talk to me, man. You come talk to some of my buddies. I got friends that
Yeah.
work at ESPN. I can go down a whole list of people that can help you, and I can help you. Just from coming off the podcast. A
Yeah.
lot of people have came back and said, "Hey, man, you helped me. Like, doing your podcast made me be able to do this when I got to the league." So, yes, I would say what Mike gonna do it in Norfolk is gonna be life changing. I want to be a part of that. So, definitely.
I have to share, he is one of the most incredible individuals and extremely, extremely humble. I've had the chance to be around him for almost 10 years now, whenever he's come back to Hampton Roads. And one year he was sitting on a panel of athletes, and a high school athlete asked him, if not football, what would you have chosen as a career path? And he actually said law enforcement. And that was something that really enamored the crowd. But one thing that he also shared with those athletes that resonated with me and still does is that, you know, life right now, back then when he shared it, there wasn't so much social media. It was very new.
Mhm.
But he said that it gets greater later. It always gets greater later. And I think about that all the time. It's so true. You know, when you think, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through this? We've all made it through 100% of our worst days. The worst day that we thought we were having, we've made it through.
Mhm.
So that really stays with me. He's absolutely incredible. I'm going to speak into existence that you will have him on the It Factor, and you'll be able to rewind to this moment and say, Jaylyn said I would have him, but he's awesome. I'm so proud of the opportunity that he has right now. And I think that he's going to do a phenomenal job.
Indeed. Already knowing, already knowing. So thank you so much, for that.
You're so
Also, thank you for
welcome.
coming on the podcast. It means a lot. Definitely.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed. I look forward to talking to you soon. You
We
keep me
definitely
great.
will.
Keep sending me your emails because I like that. I got that watch too. I already got it. My wife got it
No,
for me.
you did not.
I already had got it. I already had my tax.
Okay, okay,
You already
okay.
represented. But
Nice,
with the
nice,
man
nice, nice.
representing, I said, okay. And I like how you sent that email because I was like, she on to something with this. I like it.
Yes, you've got to look at the most recent reels that he's posted. And we have a few that we're going to be sharing throughout the summer as we lead up to, the football season. Can't say
Yeah.
enough positive things about Talent Twine. Really, really thankful and appreciate the way that they wanted to showcase his story as well. So I'm really excited for what's to come with them.
Can't wait. So yeah, proud of what you're doing. You need anything, let me know. I'll definitely be reaching out to you soon.
Yay. Thank you so, so much for having me. It's truly an honor. You are truly the best at what you do in pulling out some incredible trailblazers and trendsetters and history makers. So keep going and know that I'm also here for you as always as a resource.
Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, sounds good.